Good morning, children. We will continue from where we left last. So Prospero continues. He says, now the condition. So now he is talking about the condition at the time when and how they were moved away from Milan. The king of Naples, being an enemy to me, inveterate, means the king of Naples was my enemy and he was a arch rival of me. Hearkens my brother's suit. Hearkens means he pays attention or say gives it value to Antonio's case, which was that he, in lieu, in return of the premises mean the present condition of homage, and I know not how much tribute. So, what King of Naples would have done in return of the homage and the tribute that Antonio had promised to him was that shall presently extirpate me and mine. So, what is mine here? First, what is extirpate? Extirpate means to remove. So, what King of Naples would do? He would presently remove me, that is Prospero, and mine means my family. Who was there in his family? Prospero and his daughter, that is Miranda. So he would remove me and my family out of the dukedom, out of Milan, and confer fair Milan, and would award or give fair Milan. Fair Milan means good Milan, with all the honors, with all the celebrations and the rituals on my brother. So he would, what he would do is he would remove Prospero and his daughter and would ceremoniously make Antonio the Duke of Milan, who whereon a treacherous army levied, means whereon a disloyal army was put together, and one midnight fared to the purpose. And on one particular midnight they tried to attain the plan and were successful. And did Antonio open the gate of Milan? And Antonio opened the gate of Milan, and in the dead of darkness, means in the dead of the night, in the dark night, the ministers for the purpose hurried thence. The ministers means the people who were assigned to carry on this job of removing Prospero and his daughter came inside, and they took me and thy crying self. Thy means Miranda, and this group of people took me and Miranda. Miranda, alack for pity, means alas, it is full of pity. I not remembering how I cried out then. So she says, I do not remember how I had cried at that moment. Will cry means but I will cry it over again. It is a hint that rings mine eyes to it. It is a hint means it is an occasion that rings means brings tears into my eyes. Prospero. Hear a little further means pay attention, hear a little more. And then I'll bring thee to the present business. And once you hear the entire story, I will bring you to the present scenario, which now is upon's, without the which this story, means which is the whole reason I am telling you this story. So till you know the past, you will not understand what has happened in the present and why I have done that. Were most impertinent. Now the entire line, if I want to explain, it says which now engages your attention, without which the story is useless. So, whatever I'm telling, if you don't pay attention to it, you will not understand why I had done what I had done in the present. Miranda, wherefore did they not that are destroyers? So Miranda has a question. She said, instead of carrying us away and throwing us away from Milan, why didn't they kill us then and there? So when Miranda said, why didn't they kill us at that moment, Prospero replies, well demanded means that is a good question. Wench. Wench means a girl or a woman. My tale provokes that question. My story raises that question in the person's mind who is listening to it. Dear, they trust not. My dear, they dare not have killed us. So Prospero says, dear, they dare not kill us. So dear the love my peoples bore me, means the people of Milan loved me so much that if they would have killed me, there could have been a rebellion in Milan. So they did not take the risk of killing Prospero and Miranda. Rather, they planned to carry them away and put them somewhere else to die. Not set a mark so bloody on the business. So they carried out the business, but they did not make it bloody, because otherwise the people of Milan may have revolted against Antonio and the king of Naples. Not set a mark on bloody on the business, but with colors fairer painted. Fairer painted their foul end. So he says they had to disguise their bloody intentions. In few means to make a long story short, or in other words, in few words, they hurried us aboard a bark. So they quickly took us to a small boat. Bark means a boat. Bore us some leagues to sea, and they carried us in up to some distance in the sea, where they they prepared a rotten carcass. Now rotten means decaying, and carcass means a dead body of a butt. So there was a old disintegrating boat where these people put Prospero and Miranda. Now here the word butt means boat, not rigged. Not rigged means the boat was not provided with basic requirements onto a ship, like the sail, the mast, the ropes, etc. So this was a old broken boat which neither had a sail nor a mast nor ropes. So nor tackle, sail nor mast. The very rats instinctively have quit it. So the boat was in a condition that even the rats had quit it. You know, when a boat is going down into the sea, when it is sinking, the first thing that escapes from the boat is the rats that are there on the boat or ship. They had put us, they hoist us, means they had put us in that boat to cry to the sea, means to cry to the sea for help and mercy. That roared to us, means when we cried to the sea for help and mercy, the sea roared back to us. The cry of the sea that roared to us, to sigh to the winds, means we were crying at the sea for help and mercy, but the sea was roaring at us. To sigh to the winds means we were sighing in despair to the winds, whose pity sighing back again did us but loving wrong. Means when we were sighing at the wind and it seemed as if the wind was sighing back to us, but the velocity of the wind was so high that it was doing wrong to us. It was causing us more trouble. Miranda, alack, Miranda, alack, what trouble was I then for you? Means, oh my God, alas, what trouble was I then creating for you? Prospero, O a cherubian, means, O as you were a angel, you were an angel for me. So he says, you were an angel to me. Thou wast that did preserve me, means you were the one who kept me going. You were my encouragement. Thou didst smile, means your smile was a strength you must have got from heaven. It continues. I'll read the line again. Thou didst smile, infused with a fortitude from heaven. So he says, your smile was a strength you must have got from heaven. Now what is infused? Put in slowly, to instill, which was bringing strength to me. Fortitude means mental and emotional strength in facing difficulty. By looking at your smile, I was getting the strength to win the condition and fight the condition. Miranda, how come we ashore? So Miranda says, now that we were in so much of problem, the sea was roaring at us, the wind was blowing at us, how come still we survived and we reached this island? Prospero, by providence divine, means by the care and guidance of God. Some food we had. So Prospero continues, he says, some food we had, and some fresh water that a noble Neapolitan Gonzalo, out of his charity, who being then appointed master of this design. So he says that we had some food, but this Neapolitan Gonzalo, who was the counselor to Alonso, the king of Naples, provided us with some water as a charity. Charity means as kindness. Who being then appointed. So at that time, Gonzalo was the person who was chosen to carry out this plan. Master of this design. So he was the master of this plan. Did give us. So Gonzalo gave us water and food. Now Gonzalo is the counselor of Alonso. So actually he is in the side of Alonso, that is Naples. But here he has pity on Prospero and Miranda and helps them a little. Did give us, he also gave us with rich garments. So he gave us rich garments, linens, stuffs and necessities. Means what all, if a question comes in an RTC, what all did Gonzalo give? Gonzalo gave them some food, fresh water, clothes, linen, stuffs and necessities. So you may mark them as 1, 2, 3, 4. Which sins have steaded much, means which sins have helped us much. These all things helped us much while we were traveling in the sea and as we reached this island. Much of his gentleness. So this speaks also much of his gentleness, that is the gentleness of Gonzalo. Knowing I loved my books, he furnished Furnished means provided me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom. So since Gonzalo knew I love my books, he provided me some of my books from my library, the books which I prize means which I valued above my dukedom. Miranda, would I might, would I might, but ever see that man means I wish I would ever see this man. Which man? Gonzalo. Prospero. Now I arise means now I get up. So he gets up and wears his coat or mantle, puts on his magic coat. Sit still and hear the last of our sea sorrow. So he says to Miranda, do not get up, sit still and listen to our sad sea story. Here in this island we arrived. So after traveling in the sea for a long time, we arrived on this island. And here have I, thy schoolmaster, means here on this island I became your teacher. Here he's referring it to as schoolmaster. Actually, his teacher, her teacher, and he is the one who had given Miranda all the teachings. So let us continue. Here I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more prophet, means I made you an even more better person. I became your teacher and I taught you everything in life than other princesses can, means the things you learned other princesses could not learn, that have more time for vainer hours, who has more time to spend on foolish things, and tutors not so careful. And they also have tutors who are not as competent as I am. So Miranda continues. So Miranda continues, heavens, thank you for it, means thank you for the education that you have given. Education here doesn't mean only studies, it is also like moral values, virtues. So she says, heavens, thank you for it, means thank you for imparting knowledge. And now I pray you, and now I request you, sir, for still it is beating in my head, it is still troubling me, your reason for raising this sea storm. So Miranda said, okay, I have understood your past. You were the Duke of Milan. I was the Princess of Milan. We were removed from Milan. Our uncle became the Duke of Milan. We were put in a ship to die in the sea, but somehow with the help of Gonzalo, we reached this island. I have understood up to this part. But then what relation there is that you raised a storm? So Prospero continues, know thus far forth, means I will tell you more about the story. By accident most strange. So by an accident most strange. Beautiful fortune means generous fortune. Fortune here means luck is presently on my side. Like fortune is so beautiful to me. Now my dear lady hath mine enemies. So fortune, now my dear lady Miranda hath brought mine enemies to me. So fortune has been so nice to me, my luck has been so nice to me that it has brought my enemies to this island. Brought to this shore, brought to this island. And by my perscience means knowledge of events before they happen, that is foresightness. So by my foresightness I find my zenith. Zenith means fate, doth depend upon a most auspicious star. So he says, Now that I see my enemies are on this island under my control, I believe my fate is at the highest level, which is based on my auspicious star. Now, what is an auspicious star? It is also a favorable star. It is believed that a man's character and fortune were influenced by stars, especially his birth star. So that is what is Prospero referring to. Whose influence I now, if now I gain not but omit. So whose influence? The influence of this star, because of which I have my enemies now on the island. If I do not court means gain, and omit. Omit means to lose, to disregard, to waste. My fortune will ever after droop means if I do not utilize this moment of that fortune has brought, it will never come back to me. My fortune will sink to the lowest. Here, cease more means here, stop further. Question. So he asks to Miranda, now stop your questions and let me do something. So Prospero continues, thou art inclined to sleep. Now he's trying to put a magical spell on Miranda and trying to make her sleep. So thou art inclined means you are moving towards or looking to sleep. It is a good dullness means sleepiness is something really good, and give it way. So give it way. Don't try to overcome the sleepiness. Try to sleep because you're feeling sleepy. I know thou canst not choose means I know you have no choice. Why is Prospero saying this? Because he has cast a spell on Miranda so that she falls asleep. Miranda sleeps. Come away, servant, come. I am ready now. Approach, my Ariel, come. So now he calls his servant Ariel to come on the stage, and now he will discuss with Ariel what all things Ariel had done on the ship and other things. At this point, we stop. We will continue in the next period. Thank you so much.